Welcome to this training session about Bitrix 24. Our objective today is to get you more familiar, acquainted with Bitrix 24, not just as a CRM solution for real estate, but also as a collaboration platform. Hopefully, by the end of today's session, you will figure out how Bitrix can be used as a single point of communication for internal communication and external communications. It's a tool that you will see today that can be used to attend your tasks, check your daily responsibilities, stay on top of your work in general so that you don't miss nothing. And hopefully, inshallah, at the end of this session, we will take some feedback from you about the tool and what you think of it. Bitrix 24, first as an introduction about Bitrix, there are around like 40 plus tools, business tools, blended, connected in the same ecosystem. It's the same tool. So it's a workplace. It's a place where you just, log into to do your things, to access the information that you need in order to fulfill your tasks, to analyze your own performance, to maybe predict future growth, personally or, on general, to forecast future sales. We're talking about CRM part. To find trends. It helps you better understand your own performance as well. So eventually you increase, your sales conversion rate and then your commission, and then you make more money. And okay, we can tie it up this way. Bitrix is a technology platform that started like I think 2007 or so, and there are around 15 million organizations worldwide using Bitrix, not users, but organizations, companies. And if you just, think of, or let's say search or Google who is using Bitrix or what kind of businesses are using Bitrix, you'll find like tremendous list of industries and organization types, huge corporations with thousands of employees. And you can also find small organizations with just, handful of employees attending their work. So Bitrix is scalable. It helps you scale your work, and it does scale with you as well. So you can scale it up or scale it down as you need. Now we're talking about Bitrix in the context of real estate. So we want to see how Bitrix as a technology and platform applies and works for real estate companies. I will not bog you down with technical details about servers, availability and all that stuff, because this is like, it's like the minimum now required from any technology, not just Bitrix. As we mentioned earlier, there are native apps inside Bitrix, meaning there are native functionalities inside Bitrix that you don't need to buy or integrate or connect with other platforms. And there is also something called Bitrix Marketplace. A marketplace, that's a place where you can connect or you can integrate other apps to make it work with your flow. Yani, for example, you can connect, let's say, WhatsApp with Bitrix through an application that is called, say, for example, WhatsApp or ChatUp or other apps. So this way you have WhatsApp application working inside Bitrix. Now you will see some like more live business applications or business demonstration on how that is helpful for you. You can also connect telephony solution. So you can make phone calls, receive calls, make calls from within Bitrix, and so on. Now, our focus today will be on the application that is already built in Bitrix and the application that we have also customized for you in development part. So we have developed some functionalities specifically for your company and for the real estate industry in general that we have also added on top of your Bitrix environment. So Bitrix, there is native apps, that is like native functionalities. And then there is marketplace, like App Store or Google Play. You can buy applications and put it in your Android system or iOS system, right? And there is something like special development, like the things that we have developed for you. So we will discuss these three components together, inshallah, today, okay? But first, how to think of Bitrix. Bitrix, it's like, as I mentioned earlier, it's a POS system, a huge system, a lot of functionalities and tools. But it's the best way to think of it. It's like to think of it under 5 categories. There is something we call the virtual office. There is something we call tasks and projects category, and there is CRM, and that's mostly why you are here today. We will dive deep into the CRM. And there is the contact center, and there is the site and store part. Just quick look into each of them. The virtual office is where you, as the name implies, virtually connect with everyone in your team. So from there you can make and receive calls, video calls, conference calls, chats. So no longer email threads looking for information that maybe 20 replies to try to find something. That's nonsense. It no longer applies here. Video calls and conference calls, no need to send link Zoom, wait for someone to just one click, you call someone. If you want to add more people, just add them. That's it, you have a conference running. The same functionality with Zoom. Share screen, record calls, audio only or video, chat after the call, all of that stuff. And there is something, another function in the virtual office is the comment and posts. Think of it as your internal Instagram or your internal, let's say, LinkedIn. You have an intranet. It's a network that's just closed for your company. So you can post your ideas, you can engage and interact with other colleagues, you can post announcements and so on. We will see that live in a bit, inshallah. And there is also, we have the online documents. That's again another place where you can process documents. Similar to Google Drive, Google Docs and Microsoft Word and Excel sheet and so on. Same story, you have this functionality inside Bitrix. Beside definitely the cloud storage, which is similar to Google Drive or Dropbox, same story. It's a place where you can store files securely, make it available for you or for the entire company or for certain department. Put some restrictions on sharing or accessing these files or editing these files as you like. It's like really dynamic. Of course, the calendar. That's a huge and important part of your role to know what's up, your appointments, your coming meetings, so you stay on the top of your work. And there is work groups and externals, extranet, sorry. Work groups is similar to WhatsApp group, but instead of you having a WhatsApp group, you create a work group. Now, the benefit here is that inside this work group, Bitrix will give you an independent ecosystem, let's say, or environment for this work group, meaning there are posts just for this group. There are certain tasks only for this group people. There is Drive, it's like storage place, only for this group, and so on. There is a calendar only for this group. So it's good if you want to, create discussions or let's say subdivisions inside the company that is more focused on something and you don't want them to be distracted with other stuff, or maybe you just want to share information that's just meant for these team members. That comes handy in here. Extranet, I don't think this applies to you for now, but extranet is like when you want to add a user who is not an employee, external user, you want to add them to your environment, your work environment, your Bitrix, and give them some kind of communication and access specifically for certain purpose. Like for example, you create a project or work group, and you say, I have these people who are external users. They will only have access to whatever we discuss here. So this is like documented communication and also, fast communication, prompt response you get from them. Work time tracking, that's a place where you also track your time clock in and clock out. It's like the fingerprint in the office, like the biometric fingerprint, something similar to that. Work reports, that's something also can be handy as well, to give quick reports of what you have accomplished today with a few clicks, and it goes right away to your manager. And from there you can score these reports and positive or negative to improve and enhance performance. The cloud storage, we've come through that. The workflow automation, we will not dig deep into the workflow automation in this video, but in general, the workflow automation is about automating any workflow you can think of that has a start point and end point. Inside the workflow, you have a trigger when this happens, I want you to do the following. Like for example, create a file, send a message to the customer, create a task, change information in the system, and so on. Like let's say, for example, when a lead comes from Bayut or Property Finder, I want a workflow that immediately when we receive the lead, send WhatsApp message to the client, notify the owner, the responsible person, the sales agent. If the responsible person didn't act in 5 minutes, take the lead and give it to someone else. That's a workflow automation. Okay, any workflow automation you can think of can be applied inside Bitrix. And this is where Mr. Muayyad will join us to explain the workflows that we have developed for your company, because it's kind of governance, process governance. It's like business design that we have implemented based on his vision. Okay, that's for generally the collaboration part, which is the virtual office. Okay, let's see how it looks like inside Bitrix. Again, for the purpose of demonstration, I will use our own account, VAM account, not your company's account. But when we come to like real life example, we will go to your account and we will look into how it looks like. But let's just look into this part in our own account. Bitrix 24, as you should have known by now, it comes with mobile application and desktop application. In terms of functionality, somehow it's similar, but in terms of interface and user experience, it's of course a bit different because that's a mobile and this is a desktop. So the landscape is different. The real estate, the space that you have, of course, is different. So the experience is also different. This is our Bitrix account, and I want to go to show you generally this remote, or let's say a virtual office environment. Technically, everything here is virtual. So the entire Bitrix environment is a virtual office environment. So for example, I have here on the left, I have a few menu items. So I have feed, for example. In the feed, it's similar to Instagram feed, LinkedIn feed, lots of stuff published. You can engage with it. You can like something. You can first publish something if you want to just, write a message or upload a video or a document or an announcement. Just write it and decide who must see this. So you can say, okay, I want this for all employees, or I want it for certain departments or for certain users. And then you hit publish. That's it. Now on the feed, you can engage or interact with other posts. So for example, I see here post from Fatima. She's listing some, this is internal, I don't know. She's listing some competitors for one of our clients for the rest of the team to know and study and analyze in order, to help build something. So we can hear comments. So you can thank you or thanks, or I can mention someone, just like Instagram. You mention someone with @ you can mention a user. So I want, for example, yeah, exactly. I want Ahmed, for example, I want to mention Ahmed here, so to trigger his attention to this. So he comes, he receives notification if we mention somewhere and so on. So similarly, as you can mention on the feed, you can mention everywhere. You can mention someone in the lead, if you want them to engage with you, like your managers, if they have, according to the access permission. We will cover that in a bit, inshallah. You can mention someone in a task. For example, there's a task, you don't know what to do with it. It's like trying to close it, maybe it's not allowing you to close, it requires something. So you need help with that. So instead of calling, hey, there is a task, I'm trying, they are out of context, so they will not be able to help you. So better to mention them in that task, and like you open the task and you mention someone and say, okay, I mentioned you in this task, please check it out. And now they just know what you're talking about. So better than screenshot and go dabbar halak, find it. Another one is to copy maybe the task itself, like the link that when you send it to someone, it just right away. Let me show you how it looks like. Almost every element in the system, either every entity, either a task, a meeting, a lead or something, it has this little clip link icon here. So when you click on that, it copies a link directly to this entity. So this is an event entity or a lead entity or whatever. So once you click on that clip, it copies the link to it into the dashboard, to the clipboard, and you can paste it and send it to someone. So if I want someone to help me with this, I just go to the chat, paste, boom. Now they have it, and they can just click on it and see what. If they have access permission that allows them to see it, they will see it.
Even if it's like lead.
It doesn't matter. But the point here is that you need to know. We will cover that in a bit, as I said. But there are something we call access permission. So if you are trying to send a piece of information to someone who's not authorized to see it, even if you send them the link, they will not be able to see it.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I have a lead, and you're not my manager. Let's say. So my manager should see my leads. Let's say. Okay. Should like the progress. Now, if I want to copy this lead and send it to my colleague, he will not be able to see it because he does not have access to see my leads. Everybody sees their own leads.
Yes.
But if I send it, for example, to Mr. Moyed, he can see. Okay? And so on. Bitrix comes with kind of two applications when you open the desktop application. There is this orange one, and there is like green or something. I don't know this color. Okay, the orange one is for the chat, the internal chat, the notifications, the chats that we receive also from something we call open channel. We will cover that in the contact center in a bit. Okay, so that's where I can make, like, for example, if I want to talk to, I don't want to open something private here. Who here? Okay, I think I can. We have this user called div. Yep, I'm div. Okay, so this is a like dummy user. So I can send message here. I can start a video call or a voice call. Let's start a video call. Okay, hi. And of course, he will not answer because nobody's attending this account. And we can have a video call or a voice call from the mobile app or from the desktop. Let me show you how it looks like on the mobile app quickly. Let me mirror my device here. Excellent. Okay, this is Bitrix application. Again, you can customize the main interface of Bitrix, like when you log into Bitrix. Let me get this here. I don't know if this is clear for just the sake of recording this. You can customize how you want it to look like when you open like the default application. So for example, I have it when I open Bitrix, it immediately brings me to the chat, because the chat with my employees, with my team, I mean, because that's where I spend like most of my time communicating internally. But for sales team, maybe they want it when they open, just right away to bring them to the CRM. So this way they can see the leads they have, they can move to the deals, they can change pipeline and see what they have, and they can, you know, right away access certain information, act on it, and so on. Okay. Maybe you want it to bring you to the feeds right away. So just, you know, similar to the feed that we have just been through on the desktop application, right? On the top here, where you see your profile picture, this is my profile picture, you can see, for example, when you click there, you can see this is the calendar. So I know what I have today. Okay. So I know that I have, for example, after this meeting, I have another one at 1 and I have another one at 3. And I know this one I will need to do from the car, and this one I need to be in Dubai. So, you know, so this way I have my calendar clear from the morning, so I can act based on that. Now, how do these meetings come in here? We will see, because Bitrix is a unified ecosystem, meaning the events that you do inside the CRM, the meetings that you schedule there, will also reflect here. So you don't need to add it manually. I will show you that in a bit. But again, the system is as good as you use it. You know, it's like a fancy car, but if you don't drive it, so it's not, like useless. So it's a fancy tool for sure, but you need to use it, and that's why we are here today. Right, let me go back to the slides. Okay, so that's a bit of a demonstration on the virtual office. Of course, the calendar. Let me just also take you there. So on the calendar, that's you can see two things here. You can see my calendar, which is like your calendar, someone like my calendar. So that means your calendar. You know, the popular الطرطقات, الطرطقات لوحديها تبع المسرحية هي. So my calendar is like mine, not your calendar. So everybody is my calendar, you know. So that's my calendar, and then there's the company calendar. My calendar is showing you just the meetings that you are, you know, part of. The company calendar shows you other meetings happening on the company level that you have the permission to see. Yani, for example, if you want Mr. Moaya to see what are the company's meetings this week, you can just go to the company calendar. That's our company calendar. And boo, we have all this stuff going on. Okay, so that's, for example, the company calendar. Now I have permission to see this because I have access permission to see the whole events and meetings happening on the company level. But also for a more focused part, I can see my own meetings. So this is a good way for team leaders, managers to see their team's meeting, their schedule, how it looks like. And by the way, it gives you the meeting in a context. It's not like, hey, you have this meeting today. That's it. But it ties up each meeting with another entity. Meaning, I have a meeting with, for example, let's say X client. And X client, there is a lead under his name in the CRM. So when I open the meeting, let's say, for example, like this, okay, when I open the meeting for this client here, I can see there is a deal and a contract with that what. So I know this meeting is, if I clicked here, I know this meeting is to discuss this deal. And this is the information of the client. And we're talking about this and that. So it gives you a full and complete context of what's going on. How can we reach this level of, let's say, ever-ready state? By having that, by respecting first the rules that we agree on, that, like if we agree, this is about ethics in general, you know, not ethics, sorry, integrity, okay? Integrity is about doing the things that you believe that need to be done, regardless if you're told to or not. That's integrity. Integrity is about doing what you believe is expected to be done. And sometimes, you know, integrity is about honoring your word. So honoring your word, sometimes maybe you cannot honor it. Like, okay, we agreed to meet today, for example, at, let's say 10:15. If I, for any reason, you know, sometimes things happen. Maybe I couldn't make it to the meeting. So does that mean I'm excused? Maybe I had an accident. Let's just take extreme example. Does that pardon me from you guys expecting me here and you're coming all the way from Dubai to Abu Dhabi? You will feel somehow, you know, it's like, not fair, صح? Even if I had an accident. That's just right. So integrity here forces me to clean the mess also I caused in your life because I could not honor my word. Meaning, like, I'll tell you, okay, I'll make it up for you. I will come to you next week to do that. So this way I make it up. So again, with this level of integrity, you can have such robust performance, such dynamic performance, because I know my back is covered. My colleagues will not send me to a meeting that does not have a lead card, or the lead card does not have the required information. That helps me deliver, right? So think of it this way. Bitrix has keeps a good track record of everything happens. Everything. To the level of who viewed the lead. For example, let me show you something. I don't want to access, maybe, okay, I have some test leads here, so I don't want to disclose client's information in my account, but we have some, I will share my own information here because there is a test lead, I think, under my name. So I can just say, show me a lead that his name is Hudayfa, which is, yeah, okay, I think all these are test leads. Okay, this is a test lead. So nothing secret here. Now, there is something here called history. Okay? It shows me that it's not just like when this lead came and who did what. It shows me who viewed this lead. So it tells me Hudayfa viewed the event here. He viewed this lead 9 seconds ago. You know, so every record is there. Every record is there. So don't worry about that. If you have a right on a lead, the system will make sure that it is, you know, somehow tied to it. Again, we will discuss this in your internal policies when we invite Mr. Muayyad for BART, but yes, the answer is yes. Now that's for the work environment, which is like the remote workflow or the virtual office. Now let's go inside Bitrix. Also, there is, I will just go through this quickly, employee management. So that's where you can online do the online tracking for your time. So clock in and clock out, meaning something like this. If I go to my Bitrix account, when you look into your account up next to the clock, you can see there is this icon here. So it says I'm working, meaning like it's been 3 hours, 5 minutes, 2 seconds for me working. So I can say clock out, or if I'm taking a break, I can take a break if I'm out. Now, this is a dynamic functionality. So for example, we can ask the system not to send leads for those who are clocked out because they are clocked out. So that means if you send them a lead, they will not be able to work on it because maybe they are on break or they're busy on something, or maybe they're on vacation. So just don't send it to those who are clocked out. Okay, so that's, you know, that's one use case of this functionality. Okay. Where are the slides? There we go. Okay. Absence charts, shift schedules, tasks, time tracking. Absence chart is, as the name implies, you can see if you request a leave from the system, like I want a leave, so it needs to be approved. So how do you request a leave? if you go to feed in your account, you can see something here called flow or workflow. On workflow here, and you have leave approval, and then you just need to start this, and then you decide, or let's say choose what is the leave type you want: sick leave, maternity, annual, whatever reasons, and so on, from when to when, and then you click submit. It goes to your manager. If they approve it, it will be sent to HR to process it, something like that. Okay. Also, if someone didn't show up or attended, we can look that in the system as well. And there is time tracking for tasks. That, I think, doesn't apply to you. This is more into companies who heavily work on computer tasks, design or create things or write things, projects kind of stuff. So if you want to, let's say, report per hour, that's something, for example, we do. That does apply to us, because once we finish a project, we hand over the project, and then the client need to work with us, like for support, for training, like this one, for example. So they request a support ticket from our account, and we charge them per hour. Like, for example, for remote support, we charge, let's say, 350 dirhams. For on-site support, we charge per hour, let's say, 600 dirhams, something like that. So we have a tracker internally to know how much we should bill at the end of the day, right? So that's one use case of it. The calendar, we've just had a look into the calendar. Work reports, we will not like spend more on that, but work reports is similar to where you found the clock in, clock out thing. Here you can submit a report about your your today's activity. So you can just write some report here, save, submit. Okay. There is a function, a cool function. It's coming up soon, still not active. It will be available soon, which is called check-in. You see here check-in on the screen and also on the mobile application. Check-ins allows you to check in from a certain location and share your geolocation. Yani, I want you to, let's say a client, maybe you don't want to come to the office first because you have a sales meeting or viewing or something with the client on site at 9 a.m. And HR says, oh, you need to fingerprint. We missed you today. So you want to say, okay, but I have that sales meeting and it's important, and I need to check in from the on site. So that's no problem. You go to the site, you enable the time tracking and click check in, and the application will verify your location at the time of check in and send it to your account. So problem solved. Okay, that's one use case of that. Okay. HD video calls and conferences, we've covered that, so no need to spend more on that. Okay, tasks and project. I will just go through this quickly because, again, this doesn't apply to you much. Still, of course, though, you have some tasks automated that comes to you. But in general, inside Bitrix 24, you have the module to manage projects, either like regular projects, traditional projects, or agile projects. They call it Scrum or Kanban or Waterfall or whatever. That's like project management schools. But in general, you can create tasks to yourself or assign it to others. So that you don't forget. There is really quick and easy and comes handy task, or it's a way to create tasks right from this clock time menu. So you can just come in here, click here, and go to daily plan, and you just write test task something, enter. Now this is a task that you created for yourself. So it's like a checklist. Instead of writing it on a paper or something, you just write it here. And wherever you go, it goes with you because it's in the mobile application, right? So you don't forget about it. And then once you're done, you just click, boom, done. It's done. And if you want to submit the daily reports, you can include it automatically. Like, hey, include all the tasks that I completed today in my report, send it to my manager. Instead of writing something, you can just have it ready for you. So again, it's handy. Another way to create tasks is from tasks and projects here. You can just either go to tasks and projects and click on create. That's manually creating a task, giving a description, deciding who is the assignee, like who should, let's say, do the task, what is the deadline for the task. Maybe you can add observers or participants, other people to help this person do the task. Then other parameters, and you can just click save, and that's it. Task is created. But there are other type of tasks. Let's put it this way. There are tasks that you create manually that you need now. Like for example, I need someone to, let's say, finish certain transaction or register the company with the new developer, or let's work on some campaign for a release of a new project coming up. Okay, that's just task you created, or set of tasks, series of tasks you just created one time manually. There is something else called repeated tasks. So instead of creating it every time, you create it one time and you decide how frequent you want this task to be rolled out and who should work on it when the time comes. Yani, for example, let's say every week, certain departments are expected to do this, or certain employees are expected to do this. So I just create it one time, set the parameter, the deadlines, save, that's it. Khalas. Every week it will go to them, they will finish it. The system will wait 1 week and will create it again and finish it, and you will be notified every time. Okay, that's recurring task. There are other kind of tasks that comes inside the workflow, as we have mentioned. So if there is a workflow that engages a set of tasks or different tasks, so when the workflow starts, then means do the following. And you will have a lot, maybe you have experienced this inside your CRM. When you receive a lead, the system gives you a task, right? To call this lead. This task is created to you by, I think, Mr. Moayed or manager. We will look into that. But this task is created automatically. Now, the beautiful part about this task, it holds everyone accountable. Even if the manager forgets to tell you to call, for example, this lead, the system will send him a notification when the task is overdue on your end and tell him, hey, this person was supposed to call this lead, but they didn't call, for example. Maybe they need help with something here, or maybe they don't have the right access, or maybe they don't know that they need to do or what to do, so maybe they need training or something. So this way we can spot these little, small, tiny mistakes that slow us down and fix it. Okay? And so on. There are templates of tasks, so maybe there are tasks that you use frequently, but it's not like on a frequent time base. So you keep it ready, written with all the description, the way you want it to be told, let's say, and you can just click on create task, select from template like this, let's say. So I want to create a task, but I don't want to create it from scratch here. I have some templates here. So I can say, I want this one. So you see, it's ready with instructions, with link, and who should work on it, Fatima, everything is done, just click save, boom. So one click, I have the task done because it's a template for me. I use this kind of task like frequently, okay? Okay, that's it for tasks. We will not spend more on it. Okay, project planning. You can view the projects on list view, Gantt view, Kanban view, calendar view, or deadline view. Again, that doesn't apply much to you. Now the CRM, that's the beautiful part. Okay, CRM. Okay, inside the CRM, we have something called entities. Okay, CRM. We agreed, or let's say we mentioned, or we're coming to mentioning something called entities. So entities is like small piece of, let's say, items that is connected to a wider category. So we have something called contacts, then we have something called leads, something called deals, right? Something called companies. Like it's like when you're just writing things like an Excel sheet, first name, last name, company name, email. Maybe sometimes you have the company information. Sometimes you have the property or the unit information, right? So now we'll talk about property and listing. So we have a unit entity, property unit. It's a unit. So it's a unit, or the entity is a unit that has its own specific parameters, entries, information, database, data structure, and so on. The CRM is the place where you handle all these entities. Okay? Now, it all starts with the contacts, and mainly from the contact center. The contact center is where you connect your company to the outside world, right? The contact center. The contact center looks something like this. Let me just quickly show you that so that you know what I'm talking about. Even though, as sales agents, you have nothing to do with this part, but it's good to understand the story behind how leads come to you, how it works, okay? Again, we want to reinforce your understanding of the entire system because I believe this, and this is our method and approach. I believe this This again enhances your understanding of the entire system. So this is how the contact center looks like. It's a place where you connect Bitrix with other tools. So for example, Facebook leads. If someone filled a form on Facebook, I don't want it to go on a dumb list and download Excel sheet, manually send it to someone to go. I want it right away inside Bitrix. So from there, I have an automation to process it, monitor it, control it, send prompt response to the client, right? So that's where you get it. Website forms, like on your website, there is a web form, right? When someone fills this form, they provide information and so on. So we need this information right into Bitrix. We will see how now. WhatsApp, Telegram, Instagram messages, Instagram comments, Facebook comments, all this stuff. These are all a contact center. Even the call, like the telephony solution. And for some companies, we integrate the telephony. It's not with you. This one is not active in your company, but I'm just giving you an idea that, for example, us, when someone call our office or any of our numbers, it immediately creates a lead inside the system with their numbers. This idea here gives us more options to have more channels. Because, if you have more channels, that means what? More people will go through these channels. It's like you have a lot of doors so people can walk into you. But the point here, you don't want to worry about, what about if someone came from this door? I think nobody is there to attend their request. No, you will not have that worry. You will not have this because it's all centralized. All these channels goes to one place. Now we have Property Finder and Bayut, right? So when leads come from Property Finder and Bayut, we want it right away in Bitrix. And instead of sending it to your WhatsApp number and then click that stupid link to open again on another chat with them and then copy their data and put it inside Bitrix. We want it right in Bitrix, right? And so on. So this is the contact center. Back to the CRM. Okay, CRM. So the CRM is a centralized place where it's like the end result of everything goes there, like all the inquiries. It's like, think of it as like the lead pipeline, let's say. Think of it as the front office, like the reception desk. Everybody walks in your door, they need to go there first. From there, they get the direction. If they're looking for a job, okay, drop your CV, thank you, keep it here. Then, that's what happens, right? If they're coming to sell you something, you say, okay, keep it. Maybe if they are coming with an appointment, like very important client, then you open the door, you send them to the meeting room, you bring them coffee, right? And you take good care of them. So again, it's the same story. So the lead pipeline is that where all these inquiries goes in first. And from there you work with them. And then your objective is to get them to find like those potential good leads and send them to the meeting room. Same story, right? A lot of people come in here, let's say, to your front office, to your help, to your, let's say, receptionist. And your goal is to distinguish who is who. And everybody should, be treated with the way that is, matching the context. Same story here. Now, inside the CRM, we have the contact center, as you said, which is the place where we connect your CRM with all the outside world, the tools, the channels, the emails. If someone sends a WhatsApp message, it should also come to Bitrix, to the company number, let's say. If someone sends an email to certain emails, it also goes to Bitrix. If someone sends a message on Instagram, and so on. Now, inside the CRM, we have the leads and the deals pipeline, as I explained to you, where you distinguish who is who. I will show you now a demo on that. And then you also have CRM marketing. And that's when you have proper data structure. So your data is segmented properly, meaning I'm receiving a lot of leads every time. I need to tell the system who is who, sometime manually. And sometimes the system, not sometimes in fact, all the time, the system can distinguish the source of this lead. So I know this lead came from this source, this channel. It came at this time. They were asking for this product. So it gives you a broad analysis. And you can tell which channel is best performing and, focus on it. And then in the CRM marketing also, you can send email messages, like broadcast, segmented based on certain preferences. Like I want to send this message to all those who are interested in, let's say, X product, X project in Amar or Dar or whatever, right? Also, you can send SMS messages, bulk messages. At some points, also, you can send WhatsApp, bulk messages on WhatsApp, verified WhatsApp. all these possibilities inside Bitrix. And then the CRM analytics, that's the beautiful part where you understand. Okay, let me show you this. Again, I will show our own data. In the analytics part, this is our pipeline. So for example, I look into the last 30 days. I can see in the last 30 days, our sales conversion is 3.74%. We have closed 640,000 dirhams. And the deal's value in the pipeline now is like 1.6 million. And I can see the average time it takes our team to close the deal, not the lead, is around 6 days. Yani from the moment they move someone from the reception bar to the meeting room, 5 days, they get the money. Yeah, but our sales cycle is different than yours, of course. So but the leads part, it takes 24 days. So they stay 24 days in the reception finding someone. Okay, this one is for deals. Yeah, okay, this one for deals. And I can see here also, who is from the sales team, who is the performer, like how many number of leads they closed, how many number of sales, the conversion rate for each one. Like for example, my conversion rate is 40%. Conversion rate for Muhammad is 5%. These guys too, this one 3%, and so on, okay? There are other analytics. If you want to see sales trends or sales plan, like this is where you put the sales target and see who's like getting what of that and so on and how much they are performing. You can see sales trends if you want to compare this quarter with the previous quarter, this month with the previous month. Everybody has access to their own analytics, and the manager has access to their department, and the leaders have access to the whole company performance, and so on. Okay, and also there is business intelligence. I will not dig deep into this. I want you to know that these are things that sometimes when you receive, let's say, your sales target, it's not just built on wishful thinking. Like, hey, we want you to close this quarter. We want from you 20 million. It's not like, hey, I just want to break you down with heavy targets. No, it's done based on data, and we know this is achievable. Let's say, for example, and again, this is unique for each company, but this is how sales targets, for example, is assigned based on this data. There is something called BI Builder or business intelligence, where you can connect multiple parameters to have a broad understanding and insights of what's going on. It helps. It's like AI tools here as well that helps you understand the data in a sense that human mind can't process. Okay. Also, you have call statistics. Again, that's not functioning in your company. It's not like one of the things that you have. The developments that we have done for you, but this is, again, I'm telling you about it. We have it in our accounts. This is like the call statistics. How many calls you received, how many calls missed, the average calls duration, the average handling time, the successful calls, inbound and outbound calls, the dynamics of each user, and so on. Okay, this is like sales team, details. Okay, dynamics and statistics. Okay, back to the presentation. So, and then you have sales intelligence. Again, sales intelligence is also something built on the analytics. Sales intelligence, it works when you have 2,000 more leads processed for over like 90 days. From there are AI tools that helps you receive like kind of score for leads. The system will score the leads for you and will tell you what are the indicators that helps you decide the good quality of certain leads. Yani, for example, let's just open this test lead. You can see here, the score is not here. It's not active for this account. But I'm talking about here the lead scoring. When you have enough data, meaning 2,000 and more leads, okay, enough data, the systems can now study your sales team and see what are the parameters, the indicators that affect the lead conversion. Yani, for example, let's say one of the parameters, how many times you call, did the customer call respond to the first call or not? How long it takes you to call from the moment you receive the lead until like you make the first call. Some parameters. Based on that, it gives you statistics that, okay, there are 90% probability that you will close this lead. Based on what? Based on, I have seen enough leads in the past. That's like how the system think. This is machine learning thing. I have seen enough examples, and I know when these things happen, mostly 90% of the time, it results into a closed deal. So it gives you good shot to focus on the promising leads. But again, the system is as good as the inputs. Then you will have the benefits of having this really good insights on sales performance. Okay, lead generation. The general premise of Bitrix is that we connect all possible lead sources to send to some place, as we explained earlier. So if someone send an email or a call or send an SMS or send a chat or whatever, like social media websites, Bayut, Property Finder, all possible lead scenarios or lead sources will funnel the leads and send them to some place. And from there we get processing these leads. There is a lead distribution matrix, okay? Because we don't want the leads to go to someone first and then, take one day to think of it and see you, and then to realize that he need to distribute these leads and send it to someone else to work on them. And then, in your industry, time is the essence, and you need to have like prompt response, prompt interaction with leads. So we have a lead distribution matrix here, meaning that we can apply certain rules for the system to distribute the leads among agents. Yani, for example, we can say all leads that comes from certain source for certain project, send it only to these 3 people, but send it to them in turn. Like first time agent A, then agent B, then agent C, and then again repeat, and so on. Or we have another rule. We say if the agent is the owner of the listing in Property Finder and someone registered interest in their own listing, then logic dictates they should be the responsible person. So if that's the case, send the lead to whoever is the responsible person in Property Finder, and so on. Okay, so that's the logic how we process or how we distribute leads. Again, any logic you can think of is applicable in general. Like whatever works for the company, we can make it happen.
Van Cloud.